Am I the asshole here for ghosting my ex because she's married now? My friends think I'm an asshole for blocking my ex, who is married, because she keeps calling and messaging me. I wanted to ask if what I'm doing is right, or if I should keep in touch with her. I dated Lisa for 4 years, and we broke up 2 years ago. Lisa told me that she didn't see a future with me and wanted to call things off. There were many reasons, and I knew it was coming. Lisa came from a wealthy family, and we met in college. Our relationship was great during the college years. However, after we graduated and got jobs, it became clear to her that I would never be able to provide the lifestyle that she was used to. She hated the small apartment we rented because I wanted to pay off my student loan quickly, and she resented that I couldn't afford to take her on nice vacations. It sucked, but I couldn't blame her. I loved Lisa deeply, but I also knew that she deserved the life she wanted. After we broke up, we still had lingering feelings and stayed friends for a few months. We had mutual friends and would meet up regularly. I never hated Lisa. In fact, I cherished the memories of the 4 years we were together, but I was also acutely aware that we came from different worlds and that she shouldn't have to settle because of me. Still, it was hard to let go completely, and sometimes I wondered if I'd ever truly get over her. We drifted apart after Lisa started dating a family friend. I met him a few times at parties, he knew Lisa and I had dated, and though he was polite, I started avoiding her and focused on work. Eventually, I moved to another city and lost touch with Lisa. I heard from mutual friends that she got married 6 months ago. I wasn't invited to the wedding, but I was happy for her. I also dated someone briefly last year, but right now, my career is my main focus. That's what I need to believe. 3 weeks ago, out of the blue, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Lisa. She started with small talk, and we caught up on each other's lives. She told me about the new house she and her husband had just bought and how busy she'd been. I told her about my work and my new life. It was nice, like catching up with an old friend. She gave me her new number, and the call lasted about 20 minutes. Although I found it odd, I figured she might have thought about me and decided to reach out. The next day, she messaged me and sent a few photos of her new house. I complimented her on them. 2 days later, she called me again, saying she was driving and thought about chatting. We talked about my new city, my new friends, and even gossiped about our old mutual friends. And then, she started sending me photos from a recent party where they all met up. Over the next 2 weeks, Lisa began calling me almost every day. I ignored most of her calls, but she always said that she had free time and wanted to talk. She started sending me TikToks, memes, and messages, initiating conversations all the time. At first, I brushed it off, thinking she was just being friendly. But it felt wrong. Lisa is married, and I shouldn't be talking to her so frequently. The more she reached out, the more unsettled I became. Was she unhappy in her marriage? Was she just lonely? Or was I reading into it too much? Last Friday, I finally messaged her, saying that it felt inappropriate for us to talk so often, given that she's married now. She replied almost immediately, saying there is nothing wrong with us being good friends like before. I didn't want to continue, so I told her that we needed to stop talking for a while because I needed to focus on work. After that, I blocked her number. She called our mutual friend Jess, crying about how I was rude and blocked her. Jess told our other friends, and some of them called me, saying that I was being unreasonable to treat Lisa that way and cut her off. I don't understand how no one sees that it's wrong for Lisa to call her ex when she's happily married after more than a year of no contact. It doesn't make sense. But maybe I'm the one who's missing something. Am I being unreasonable with Lisa? Or was it right for me to block her for both our sakes? And if I'm right, why do I still feel so conflicted? I really don't think that you're being unreasonable here, because there does appear to be a double standard. If this was a generic ex-boyfriend messaging his ex-girlfriend and doing all of this, you'd say, Jesus Christ, he's being a creep. He hasn't gotten over the relationship. He still sees something there. Does his partner know about all of this? Does she know that he's being unreasonably forward with you and being way too friendly? Your friends obviously don't want to rock the boats, and it's easier to put the blame on you here because I don't know, you as a man, I guess, can't have creepy advances from an ex that you're not comfortable with? I get why you're feeling conflicted about this one, but please don't. You're not in the wrong. I genuinely do feel like you're being gaslit by your friends who are telling you that what you are doing was wrong, that in fact you are unreasonable to cut her off. Because I'm just so sure they'd feel the same way about their partners messaging an ex of theirs and hiding it from them. They'd be really cool with that, I'd imagine. Charlie Loves Tuna says, not the asshole. Simple question and test. Ask her, well, since there's nothing wrong with us being good friends, does her husband know, and can she add him to the text group? I'm pretty sure we both know the answer. Zornoff says, not the asshole. She wants you as her side piece. Don't play her game, let her live her boring life with her boring husband. Solo Throwaway says, yup, she still loves OP. Married the family friend because he had money but doesn't love him. She wants them both. The love, OP, and the lifestyle, her hubby. Big Bob C says, you didn't ghost her. You told her exactly why you were blocking her. I would send her the following. It bothers me that you were choosing to get back in touch with me after you were married and sharing all of the wonderful things that you have in your life that I couldn't provide you soon enough. I don't think it is intentional on your part, and I do not feel inadequate, but the message I'm getting from you is that you think I was. I wasn't good enough to be your partner in life. You have found a man who is. You should be directing your emotional energy towards him, not to an old friend you were not close enough to invite to your wedding. Rocketman69 says, she is bored with the lifestyle that you couldn't provide. She's missing what you had, and it will turn into an affair. Maybe her husband is gay and is hiding in the marriage so that he doesn't lose his inheritance. No matter the reason, not the asshole. And now, on to the update. I had posted a month and a half ago regarding going no contact with my ex-girlfriend Lisa after she tried to rekindle our friendship. Lisa married her husband Jason 6 months ago, and I wanted to respect their marriage and blocked her after I felt that we were crossing a line. My friend was very critical of me because I was ignoring her, and most of you agreed that I did the right thing. Things have been really crazy since then, and many of you asked for an update. I wanted to respect Lisa's privacy, but as things settled down, I'm again not sure if I'm doing the right thing and need advice on my situation. Sorry for the long post, but too many things have happened and I wanted to get this off my chest. After I blocked Lisa, she called my friend Jess and wanted to talk to me one last time. I initially declined, but finally caved in and told her that it would be the last time that we would talk. Lisa called me on Saturday morning and told me that she wanted to talk to me because she needed help and does not know if she can trust anyone. She sounded awful, and I had to calm her down before she told me what was going on. Lisa told me that after we broke up, she met her husband Jason within a few months. Jason asked her out on a date in front of her mum, and her mum insisted that she at least give Jason a chance. Jason was a charmer, and they quickly became official. Jason was everything I was not. He came from a wealthy family and had everything figured out. He took her on all the vacations I could never afford, and Lisa loved this life where she does not have to worry about things like loans or money when she was with me. They had a grand wedding, but Lisa told me that things quickly started going south. One night, she was hanging out with Jason's friends, and one of his college friends started flirting with her and touched her inappropriately. Lisa was shocked and told Jason immediately. Jason was drunk and told Lisa to loosen up and enjoy the party and didn't confront the friend. As months went by, Lisa found proof that Jason and his friends were doing drugs, and Jason had slept with most of his friends' wives, and it was a common thing in their friend group. She suspected that it happened during the time they were dating and also a few times after they were married. She confronted Jason, but he just got mad at her and told her that she's being too uptight. Things got messy, and Lisa told me that there were some instances of physical abuse, though she didn't go into too many details. Lisa wanted to leave Jason and told her mum about it. However, her mum told her that it's too early in their marriage, and instead, Lisa should work harder to make Jason happy so that he doesn't need to look at other women. Lisa never told any of our mutual friends about this because they all loved Jason. mostly because he paid for all the parties, restaurants, etc., and Lisa just felt very lonely and helpless. That's when she got a burner phone and started messaging me on it. She apologized to me for getting me involved in her mess, but asked me if I can buy her a ticket to my city so that she can get as far away from Jason and everyone and figure out what to do next. She could not buy the tickets because Jason had access to all of her cards and accounts, and she couldn't trust any of her friends back home because Jason might know about it. I was really angry with the whole situation and agreed to help her. I got the tickets immediately and did not email her any details. I only told her the confirmation numbers when packed and reached the airport. She flew to my city and is staying in my guest room. As expected, all hell broke loose as soon as she called her parents to tell them that she has left Jason and is with me. She told them and our friends why she did what she did. However, everyone just thought that we had an affair and that she left Jason for me. Jason was really angry and demanded for her to come home or they were done. His parents called her to plead for her to come back and talk about things calmly. Her dad refused to talk to me while her mum flew to my city and we all met, and she told her what happened. Her mum was more worried about their reputation than what Lisa went through in the last few months. It was just sickening. Lisa is looking for lawyers to file for a divorce and has refused to talk to Jason since she came here. Jason has not made any attempt to visit her and initially sent a lot of threatening messages. I feel as though he was advised not to send any more incriminating messages to her, and the messages from him suddenly stopped and there is radio silence. Lisa is currently living with me for the last month. She has offered to pay me rent, but I've told her to just save up for any legal fees, as it seems that her parents might cut her off. Many of our mutual friends still refuse to believe what Jason did, and some feel that we were having an affair. Many of them have completely stopped talking to Lisa and I, and even removed us from their socials. Lisa looks like an empty shell of herself. She was the most kind, fun person when we were together. Even though she keeps a brave face, she just bursts into tears randomly. I feel as though she has still not told me the whole story about what Jason did to her, but I'm just going to be a good friend and give her the space that she needs. I, honestly, am not too sure how to feel. Everything happened so suddenly. I never had time to react and think if what I am doing is right. I don't know how I got into a situation where my married ex is now living with me. I cannot kick her out, and I want to be there to support her in such a horrible time. However, a part of me also does not know if what I'm doing is right, and as she is still a married woman, I don't want to be labeled as a homewrecker or a cheater. Any advice would be appreciated. Edit. Just wanted to add some context since many of you are asking about it in the comments. Lisa left her main phone home when she left since her husband can track her phone. He was already paranoid that Lisa would leave him and was tracking all of her accounts and Lisa's whereabouts. She didn't want to let anyone know that she was at my place. However, I insisted that she at least call and tell her parents that she was safe. Else they would have thought that she disappeared and might have gone to the cops to file a missing persons report. Jess did not help her because Lisa did not tell Jess or any of our friends about the abuse. All Lisa told me was that she did not trust any of our friends right now. I'm still not sure why and what happened there. However, most of our friends have sided with Jason, and he is spreading a false narrative that Lisa married him for money and waited for 6 months exactly so that she is eligible for a significant alimony based on their prenup. Everyone suspects that we, Lisa and I, planned this whole charade for Jason's money. Lisa left and came back to me because she wanted to put as much physical distance between Jason and her before she told him that she was leaving him. And of course, Lisa and I are not getting back together. I understand the vulnerable position she's in, and I just want to make sure she is safe. And finally, what are my future plans? I'm taking this one day at a time. I luckily have a very well-paying job now and do not have to worry financially about supporting her for a short time. However, I do understand that Lisa cannot live with me forever, and we need to figure something out as soon as things settle down. In the comments, whoa, what a wild ride. Although it seems like you made the right decision in blocking her at first. I'm happy you were able to intervene and support her during her difficult time. It's terrible when people put their reputation before the welfare of others. I'm sending Lisa my best wishes and hoping that everything turns out well for her in the end. And OP says, it is just crazy to see Lisa go through so much in the last few months, and no one is standing in her corner. I also hope she finds strength. Another commenter says, okay, she should not be living with you. You are not her savior. Maybe what she's telling you is true, and maybe it's exaggerated to gain your sympathy. She needs to end her marital relationship and deal with her baggage from that before jumping back in with you. All of the reasons she threw you out for her husband still exist. She is still married, period. She can go live with her parents. If he has money and she doesn't, it could be a long, messy divorce. Step back and let her deal with her crap. Captain Delicious Pants says, I get that she needed help, but if Lisa knew people to call and pressure OP to talk to her, why didn't she ask one of them to help? Vespertine replies, maybe her husband also slept with or was inappropriate with those friends. Seems like that group normalized a lot of weird behavior. Very unfortunate situation all around. I don't know what I'd do in OP's situation. I feel like I would be in the same boat as him, but yeah, gotta get her out of there eventually. I feel like that's logical as well. Like, you help her get on her feet, you help her come back to a new normal, and then eventually she does have to leave that place, preferably sooner than later because, you know, she can't just ignore all of her problems forever. She has got to deal with this one and not just sit on her laurels all the time. It's great that you are there to help her out, and you have done so much, OP. And I hope the next update that comes in the future is a very good resolution to this problem. Because right now it looks very grim. It looks like she's getting cut off by everyone as a result of this. Please don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. But I also do understand if you allow her to stay for longer to get her on her feet. That's an admirable thing to do. But what do you guys think of this one? I'd love to know down in the comments. And thank you for sharing your story with us, OP. Our next post is by user AccomplissedRuin85, and it's titled, Am I the asshole for not wanting to wear makeup or dresses, even though my boyfriend thinks my style is weird? I, 19 female, have been with my boyfriend, 18 male, for 2 years. I've always been more of a tomboy. I wear jeans and hoodies, have a really short pixie cut, and never wear makeup. Honestly, I've always questioned my gender identity, and I feel more comfortable with a more androgynous style. I've never really felt like I fit into traditional girly expectations, and that's why I don't wear makeup or dresses. My boyfriend has always known this about me, and it's never been a problem until recently. Lately though, he's been acting distant and has made comments about how my style is weird. He's mentioned that I don't act or dress like most girls, and hinted that I should try to look more feminine. He said things like, most guys like girls who wear makeup and dress up. You don't have to be like a guy all the time. He wasn't being mean, but it felt like he was disappointed in how I present myself. I explained to him that I've always questioned my gender, and that dressing and acting more feminine makes me uncomfortable, but he seemed a little frustrated. Now he's been distant and cold, and I can tell he's not happy. I feel guilty for not wanting to change for him, but I also don't think that I should have to conform to gender norms just to make him feel better. So am I the asshole? The Hound Abides says, not the asshole, but your relationship is effed. He wants someone that you don't want to be, which isn't inherently wrong, but the fact that he expects you to change after he knows who you are is messed up. It's best if this ends and you can both find someone better suited to your desired lifestyle. Ecstatic Stay says, not the asshole, and you don't have to change for anyone other than yourself. Wearing clothes that make you feel more comfortable and aren't feminine has nothing to do with gender. You can question your gender and try to discover more about yourself, but liking and using dresses or makeup doesn't make you more or less a woman. I don't wear makeup. I also don't like dresses, skirts, or heels, and when I was a teenager, several people in my family and even neighbors said I was a lesbian just because I was a bit of a tomboy. I never questioned my gender or became a lesbian. I'm just a straight woman who prefers to wear comfortable clothes. Imaginary Chair says, he was attracted to you as you are when you met 2 years ago. You didn't suddenly change, so what changed about him that it's become a problem? Has he been spending more time online, absorbing toxic opinions about women and gender? Has he been looking at other women and comparing you? Does he want an obedient trad wife? Is it the Andrew Tate influence? Whatever it is, I don't think you have a future together. I think you guys are getting into adulthood now. You're 18 and 19. A lot of things change between 16 and 18. His personal preferences may have changed. There may be influences coming in from his friends that he is taking personally and now taking out on you. But at the end of the day, it's wrong for him to force these expectations on you and to shame you and make you feel bad for that, and then use manipulative tactics of avoiding you and withholding intimacy from you, just not wanting to talk. Those are very much childish and petty things to do to someone that you are supposed to love. I don't think you're the asshole for not wanting to wear makeup and dresses. Your style is weird, there's nothing wrong with that. You are aware of it and you like your style, you're comfortable with it. He's more than welcome to talk about these things with you and reaffirm why you don't want to dress like that. But he crosses boundaries and he crosses lines when he starts making you feel bad for who you are. That to me firmly makes him an asshole. And now onto the update. First off, thank you to everyone who responded. I've been thinking a lot about your comments and advice, and it's helped me realize a few things. After reading through the responses, I decided to have a serious conversation with my boyfriend about everything. I sat him down and told him about how his comments were affecting me. I explained again that my style and the way that I present myself are tied to the fact that I've always questioned my gender identity. I told him how uncomfortable it makes me to feel like I'm being pressured to look or act in a way that doesn't feel authentic to who I am. I was hoping he'd understand and be more supportive. Unfortunately, the conversation didn't go the way I hoped. He admitted that he's been struggling with my gender expression and that he's more attracted to girly girls. He said he feels like he's dating a guy sometimes, which hurt to hear. I tried to explain that this is who I am, and I don't feel comfortable changing myself just to fit into his idea of what a girlfriend should look like. He said he doesn't want to break up, but also doesn't know if he can get used to the way I present myself. This conversation made me realize that maybe we're just not as compatible as I thought. I've been feeling conflicted, but I know I shouldn't have to change who I am or question my identity just to make someone else happy. I told him that I need some time to think about our relationship, and we're currently taking a break to figure things out. I still don't know what the future holds, but this experience has shown me that being true to myself is more important than trying to fit into someone else's expectations. Thank you again for all the advice. It really helped me see things more clearly. Le Half Hand Easy says, "You're 19. You still have your whole life ahead of you. Go your separate ways." 3 Style says, "Take gender roles and identity out of it for a moment." He's pretty much doing the equivalent of telling someone who dresses like a goth that he kinda wishes you dressed like a preppy girl. It just doesn't make sense. Either he likes your style and maybe asks you for, at most, 1 or 2 special compromises for maybe a few formal family weddings, or he's just not attracted to that type of style expression you have, and which feels most comfortable for you. Lunacy4 says, "Okay, I'm no expert, but I've come to realize a few things over my 51 years. You don't have to care about gender. Just because you're not a girly girl doesn't mean that you must be a boy, or vice versa. You are you. Be who you want to be. Be with people who are happy to be in your company, no matter how you present yourself. Yeah, you may have to conform for some work or jobs, but that's just a uniform, not the real you." Advice from a 51-year-old female who loves to wear blue jeans, combat boots, and flowered bright shirts. Has short hair and no makeup. Update 2. Hey everyone, I wanted to give another update, and thankfully this one is much more positive. After our first conversation, I took a few days to really think about things, and then my boyfriend and I had another heart-to-heart. This time, I approached him from a calmer place, and I think that helped both of us communicate better. I told him how much it hurt to feel like I wasn't enough for him just as I am, and that my style and the way I present myself are a reflection of my identity. I made it clear that changing myself to fit into traditional girly norms wasn't something that I was willing to do, and that I needed him to accept me for who I truly am. To my surprise, he opened up a lot more this time. He admitted that he had been ignorant about how deeply these things mattered to me, and that he was just struggling with societal expectations about what a girlfriend should look like. He realized that his comments were hurtful and unfair. He apologized sincerely and told me that he wants to learn to better understand and support me. Since then, things have been going much better between us. He's been asking me more about my feelings and experiences with gender, and he's making an effort to be more supportive and open-minded. He even started reading up on gender identity and self-expression, which really means a lot to me. We've also agreed to focus on the parts of our relationship that bring us closer, instead of worrying about what others might think or expect. I'm really glad that we had those tough conversations, because it helped us both grow. While I know this is an ongoing journey, I feel hopeful now. He's showing that he cares about me as a whole person, and I'm feeling more comfortable being my authentic self in our relationship. Thank you all again for your support and advice. It helped give me the confidence to stand up for myself, and things are looking up. In the comments, Lyndon Lil Blue Balls says, I want to stay positive and focus on the fact that they are both learning to communicate now. Sir Ed Kalot says, this exactly. This is why I try to avoid the very easy trap of telling people to just break up when they post problems, because sometimes communication works. Not always, perhaps not even often, but sometimes. And I don't think that it's our place as advice givers to assume that'll never happen. Shattenspringer says, to be fair, a lot of people ask about relationship advice, starting with, I discovered my fiancé, to be married in 3 hours, is a serial killer and sold our house to a hooker for $1,000 to have enough gambling money. So now we need to vacate, but all of his victims are buried in the cellar. Also, I think he might have cheated on me with a hooker. What should I do? Normal problems that are solved with talking are rarely ending up here. And I agree with that sentiment. I get that people are like, oh, Reddit is full of idiots, and everyone just says break up, break up, break up. How about you go touch grass and live in the real world for a second? But then, like, you have this shit that people always post here where they're like, my relationship is perfect, but my husband suddenly stopped having sex with me 2 years ago, and we have not really talked about it since. And that is an average story. That is an average experience of people on this, forum. Am I wrong for defaulting to, why haven't you been talking about this? If you have talked about it, why has nothing happened? Why are you coming here now? And are you just asking us for permission to break up with your partner? Regardless, I'm very happy that OP was able to sort this out with her boyfriend. Great example of healthy, transparent communication winning out at the end of the day. I'll be very honest. From the way that the story was going, it really didn't seem like he was going to make that turnaround in the 3rd quarter. I genuinely did not expect that boyfriend to have a change of heart. To me, I read the situation as, he's 18, he's looking for a slow burn reason to end the relationship and move on from it because he doesn't want to be in the relationship with her anymore. But thank God that was not the case. Thank God they worked it out together. Thank you for sharing the story with us, OP. That was really nice. And what do you guys have to say about this one in the comments? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!